In the late 19th century, the British Empire implemented the Aborigines Protection Act across Australia, legally sanctioning the forced removal of Indigenous children from their families. This policy was rooted in the racist belief that Aboriginal people were a dying race and that mixed-race children could be civilized through assimilation into white society. Government officials were granted sweeping powers to separate children as young as 3 from their communities, marking the beginning of a systematic cultural genocide. Armed police and welfare officers routinely raided Aboriginal communities, often at dawn, to seize children. Survivors recount being dragged away screaming, while parents were powerless to intervene. Children were transported hundreds of miles to state-run institutions or Christian missions, where they were forbidden from speaking their native languages or practicing cultural traditions. Records show siblings were deliberately separated to sever all familial bonds, with many never seeing their families again. In the so-called training homes, children were subjected to military-style discipline and psychological abuse. Their hair was cut short, traditional names were replaced with European ones, and they were punished for any expression of Indigenous identity. Many survivors described systematic malnutrition, physical punishments, and sexual abuse. The institutions aimed to produce domestic servants and farm laborers, with education limited to basic literacy sufficient for menial work. The psychological scars persisted long after survivors left institutions. Many struggled with addiction, depression, and an inability to form healthy relationships, having never experienced familial love themselves. The loss of language and cultural knowledge created a severed connection to heritage. Studies show their descendants disproportionately face incarceration, poverty, and mental health crises, proving trauma's hereditary nature. The term stolen generations entered global human rights discourse through these revelations. In 2008, Australia issued its first official apology to the stolen generations, but tangible reparations remain inadequate. While some language revival programs exist, less than 10% of Indigenous languages survive today. Many survivors still await compensation, and Indigenous children are currently removed from homes at higher rates than during the policy's peak. The ongoing crisis underscores how colonial violence morphs but persists, challenging Australia to move beyond symbolic gestures towards substantive justice.